Hey, it's Central Valley Real Estate and Home Improvement. My guest for this segment is Vivian Sojo. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Yeah, with Keystone Kitchen and Bath. And you know, amazing thing, Keystone Kitchen and Bath, I asked her how long she's been with the company. She told me that's her company. So we're going to find out about Keystone Kitchen and Bath. Kimberly, welcome to the show. Why do you have Keystone Kitchen and Bath? And what do you do?
And you called me Kimberly again.
Again,
It's
I
Vivian.
did. Vivian.
The company is Keystone, but I'm Vivian.
Yeah, there you go.
What was the question again?
Okay. Well, what is Keystone Kitchen and Bath?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so Keystone.
And why does Kimberly not own it? No. Vivian owns it, that's why. All right, Vivian Sojo, Keystone Kitchen and Bath. Tell me about it. You started the company.
Yes.
What is the company?
So we do kitchen and bathroom renovations.
Okay.
And so I am the designer. I go ahead and I meet with my clients. We sit down. We look at their budget.
Mm-hmm.
We also look at the overall cost of the home so that we're not over budgeting and overspending. I feel like that's very important, and my clients like that. And then I also am partnered with the general contractor, so he does all of the work.
You don't get out there and do the work yourself?
No, but
No?
I can.
You can? Okay. What got you into designing kitchens and baths? How did you get into that?
Yeah. So interesting story. So I started going to school for, I started going to school, something I didn't tell you. I started going to school for pre-med. And I ended up not liking it. It was just, I like studying, but I didn't want to work in a hospital. And so then I completely changed my major to interior design.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah. And so I just decided, hey, I'm going to be a designer.
Vivian,
so
what attracted you to interior design? I mean, coming away from a med school, type of perspective to interior, design.
Right.
I mean, that's not just a little shit. That's even beyond 180, if you could, say. But what pulled you? How did you get there?
Well, I've always liked architecture, and my dad, he's in construction, so I grew up in construction all of my life.
Oh, okay.
And my dad wanted me to be an architect.
Okay. So,
but I don't want
clarity is coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't feel that I wanted to be an architect. I still wanted to be involved with the whole renovations. And actually, funnily enough, is my youth pastor at the time asked me, what are you going to do when you finish high school? And I said, well, I like medicine, but I also like architecture. And at the time, I was taking both classes.
Yeah, okay.
I took drafting, and then I was also taking a lot of biology and human anatomy, and I liked both. I just wasn't really clear. And he said something really important that stuck with me, and he said, if you're going to be an architect in a third world country. Be an architect like in Africa or something. And I said, oh, wow, that's really interesting. And so, and then that was the whole reason why I always knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I've had other businesses but kind of failed.
Have you?
Yes, so I did photography. I sold jewelry. When I lost my job, I lost jewelry. I was selling these things called mangoneadas. I don't know if you've heard of those.
No,
it's like this Mexican shaved ice with mango flavor, and it's spicy.
It good?
Yeah, I sold a lot.
Yeah? Okay.
I sold quite a bit out of my apartment when I lost my job. And just going back to Brent, my youth pastor, telling me you should be an architect in a third world country. I always wanted to build a school in Africa.
Okay.
And so I thought, I'm going to build a school in Africa. So it was kind of like a thing that I had that I've always wanted to do. So when I opened my own company, I partnered with the nonprofit. And
So that's still on the list, huh, Vivian?
no, we've already built the school.
You already built the school? You did that?
Well, I'm
an
with our
associate?
nonprofit that I partnered with.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
All of a sudden, I'm real interested now. Before you were just an entrepreneur. Who cares? But this is good stuff. So
yeah,
all right, you partnered, and where? What part of Africa?
it's in Congo.
In
It's in
Congo.
Kingwangala.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Have you been there yet?
I
Congo?
haven't been there yet.
You're gonna go, right?
I want to go, but you have to go in the winter. You can't. No, actually, sorry. You have to go in the summer, and that's when I'm the busiest, and I can't just leave because we do a lot of remodels in the summer.
Yeah.
You have to go because that's their winter. It's still hot. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
Okay. No, but that's really awesome. That's great.
Thank you.
So you're going to build another one now?
Well, we're in the process of building the second building
Okay.
for the school.
For the school?
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're going to build them a kitchen and bath and stuff? No. Okay. So you got into not architecture per se, but you got into interior design.
Yes.
All right. In interior design, it's easy to just throw up a room and say, okay, here's a couple walls, maybe a half wall, whatever, light fixtures, switches, who cares? But when you get into a kitchen,
Yes.
now kitchens are, if someone's going to remodel a kitchen, okay, that's kind of a very personal thing. Most people, a kitchen's just a kitchen, right? Well, not if you're going to remodel it, because if you're going to remodel it, you're going to want things that are specific to you and the way you like to cook, and it can be very personal. And I know this because my wife told me about that a lot when she kicks me out of the kitchen, right? But no, that's got to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So I am a designer, but I really love helping my clients be their own designers.
Oh.
So I just kind of guide them. So I ask them a lot of questions.
So you don't sit down and tell them what they're going to get,
No,
right?
no, not at all. No, I hate that.
Yeah?
I actually bump heads with a lot of designers because they're very pushy into telling their ideas into the client instead of asking the clients what they really want.
You really care what the client
Yeah.
wants? Does that come across when you're talking to your clients?
Yes, yeah.
They appreciate that?
I hope so.
Yeah? Are they happy with your work?
Yes.
Well, you've been around for a while, so I guess so.
Yeah, I like building the relationship
Yeah.
with the client.
And you were telling me you've got a lot of, besides clients, but you've got a lot of relationships throughout the community and construction stuff, which something that you told me, which is really important, is the quality of the individual that you work with, whoever does the construction work, or builder, or whatever you call them, for your client, so that they're getting the best of the best when they get you as their designer.
Yes, that's really important because I grew up with with parents that would always enforce that if you're gonna do something right, if you're gonna do something, do it right.
Okay.
And so for me, it's really important to go through the whole process. So really educate the client on materials that they're choosing. So whether it's granite or quartz, or what's the difference between?
Yeah, what's the difference? What is the difference? Granite and quartz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So granite.
They're both rock, right?
Well, granite is it comes from a mountain, so it comes from a quarry.
Okay.
And quartz is a man-made product, so it's about anywhere from like 80% granite resin, and then the rest is, I wouldn't say epoxy, but it's some type of glue that puts it all together. So it's a man-made product.
Okay, so they take quartz and then they embed it into resin, and then you get this quartz thing,
Yeah,
right?
it's really interesting.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, between kitchen and bath, what's your favorite to work?
I like both.
Yeah.
But I love the kitchen because the kitchen is the heart of the home.
Okay.
So that's the first thing people are gonna see when they come in. So I love doing kitchens, but I love doing both, really.
Yeah. And you've been, like you say, you've had your company now for 6 years, and you're just scooting right along. I mean, you built a school in Africa, for crying out loud. You gotta,
Well, it wasn't me; it was a nonprofit.
Yeah, but you got to be relatively successful, which means you got to have satisfied customers, which means you must be doing a pretty good job, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But you were telling me also that you work with realtors.
Yes.
So do tell.
Yes, so I have a partnership program with Realtors where we sit down and really look at the numbers. So if there's a buyer or even a seller, we really look at the numbers, we look at the property, we look at the neighborhood. And so if it's a house that one of the clients is trying to sell, then we look at that again. We put a budget together so that we don't exceed, so that whenever they do sell it, they can get a return on their investment.
So, okay, I have an older house in a kind of an upscale neighborhood, but my kitchen and bathroom are, out of the, very, very ancient caveman ages. And, just with, and we all know that if you upgrade those two areas in your house, the return on the dollar can be terrible, or it can be very,
Correct.
very good.
Yes.
So I guess if I'm going to look at increasing the value of my home, I'm thinking that maybe I want someone that has some idea of what they're doing, which means if you work with a realtor,
Yes.
they're going to be the listing agent or whatever. They've got an idea of the value in the neighborhood, and they sit down with you and they say, okay, you know, with this in the seller, you know, with this and this, you know, the value of the home can go up this much, which can be substantial.
Yes.
Yeah?
So that's something to be really careful at, because you can easily overspend on a kitchen or even a bathroom or even a whole remodel.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's so easy to do. So you really want to choose somebody that has your best interest at heart, and that's not there just to make a quick buck.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So my partnership program is I do give special discounts to the realtor's clients, but it has to come through the referral of the realtor in
Right.
order for me to do that.
Right.
And then so we give them special incentives. So I'll do a drawing for them, which I normally charge $500, a 1 hour free in-home consultation. I usually charge $150 an hour for that.
Okay.
And then we do a complimentary, and this is something that people love. We do a complimentary where we come in, we put everything in boxes, and then we put everything away from them when they move.
Really?
Yeah, but just for the kitchen, not the
Oh,
entire
yeah,
house.
okay.
We wouldn't be able
I
to
was
do
gonna say,
that.
yeah, okay.
But yeah, so we come in, we organize the kitchen, and if we're redoing the kitchen, that's a really great time to start throwing stuff away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And-
that's a complimentary thing.
And Vivian, before we went on the camera, I asked you what, you know, to think about your most challenging job, and you couldn't think of a job, but what you did tell me, and something we referred to earlier, was finding quality, you know, construction people to work with your clients.
Yes,
And that's awesome. You know, it really is. So I want to thank you for being with us today.
thank you.
But I got to tell you, you know, people watching this, it's not going to do them any good unless they know how to get a hold of you.
Oh, okay.
So how do they get a hold of you?
So they can call us at 559-981-2788.
Okay.
They can also go to our website,
Which is?
www.keystonekitchenbath.com.
Okay.
And our email is info@keystonekitchenbath.com.
Okay, you got a Facebook page?
We do. It's
Yeah.
just Keystone Kitchen and Bath.
Okay. Well, cool. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having
sharing.
me.
I think this is great, you know, that you've done this, and, you know, you also are giving back. And I know from what you told me, you got other things in the work to give back even more.
Yes.
And that's outrageous.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. So when they do a remodel with us, some of it goes back to the school.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
You're thinking about maybe making, and it's a big one, but it's important also. You want to have someone that's going to have your best interest at heart. Get a hold of Vivian. Okay, Keystone Kitchen and Bath, and I'll see you when we come back.